Good morning, everyone. Today I am going to discuss about the subject pharmacovigilance. Now we are going to see about the introduction of pharmacovigilance. So here the content are introduction, history and development of pharmacovigilance, importance of safety monitoring of medicine, WHO International Drug Monitoring Program, and the pharmacovigilance in India. This topic is covered with this. These are the contents. So now we are going to discuss about the introduction to pharmacovigilance. First of all, I would like to explain that what do you mean by pharmacovigilance. It is derived from a Greek word that means pharmakon, which means a drug, and the vigilance means alertness. So an important part of the clinical research, starting from the drug discovery to the post-marketing surveillance, is pharmacovigilance. And the definition, according to the WHO, pharmacovigilance can be defined as a science and activities relating to the detection, assessment, understanding, and prevention of adverse effects or any other possible drug-related problems. Prior identification of adverse drug reaction is most important for safety of a patient taking medicine. The information received from healthcare providers, pharmaceutical companies, and patients should be evaluated in order to assess the risk and benefits involved with respect to a particular drug. So here in pharmacovigilance, we are going to see a depth about the drug, its usage and its adverse drug effects, which need to be reported immediately. So that all we are discussing in the pharmacovigilance. Here, this diagram shows the regulatory which are involved in this pharmacovigilance. Here comes the expert team, MR, medical reviewers, DSA, drug safety associates or executives, medical advisory team, risk mitigation, communication, and patient and doctor. They are all involved in this pharmacovigilance regulatory. A careful monitoring of drug usage at every step, such as pharmacovigilance inspection, reporting of that ADR, periodic collection of safety report, post authorization of safety studies is required. And the important purpose of pharmacovigilance programs are: it improves the patient care, provides the medicines and all medical and paramedical services safe, improve public health care services to assess benefit, risk and effectiveness of medicines, to encourage safe, rational, therapeutically active and cost effective use of medicines, and also to promote the understanding, educating and clinical training in pharmacovigilance, to support effective communication to healthcare professionals and public. These are the important purpose of pharmacovigilance programs in India. So the major and well-known limitations of spontaneous reporting are underreporting, lack of information, biased reporting. The scope of pharmacovigilance is extended to adverse drug reactions or events, interaction of medicine reporting, medication error reporting, substandard medicines, abuse or misuse of medicines, lack of efficacy. These all comes under the pharmacovigilance and we can report these also. So coming to the product covered by the pharmacovigilance, it includes a variety of products and their adverse effects, and we can include the products such as medicines, herbals, biologicals, blood products, traditional and complementary medicines, vaccines and medical devices. These are all involved in the pharmacovigilance. And the system which involves national center, which is organized either with WHO or healthcare providers, and it will be involved in the national regulatory authority, which includes healthcare providers within and outside the facilities of this regulatory system and other established regulatory authorities. So coming to the history and development of pharmacovigilance, how the pharmacovigilance has evolved and what is the history of that we are going to discuss in this topic. Till 1950, the importance of post-marketing surveillance for new medicines was not considered a responsibility of manufacturers, because till 1950 they are not aware about the adverse drug reaction. When the disaster of phocomelia means nothing, it is a malformation or deformation of babies or newborns associated with thalidomide occurred in 1962, people worldwide understood the need of post-marketing surveillance of medicines. Thalidomide was marketed in 1957 in many countries under different trade name for various therapeutic purposes such as to treat morning sickness and nausea, etc. By 1965, thalidomide has been removed from the market of most countries. The UK starts spontaneous reporting system called Yellow Card Scheme. Yellow Card Scheme is nothing, it is a reporting system. How we need to report the new area and what are all we need to report, that is known as Yellow Card Scheme. In 1968, the WHO started an international program of drug monitoring. However, thalidomide continued to be used for the treatment of leprosy. Its use was allowed only under strict supervision and specialist advice. Despite these precautions, during 1969 to 1995, 34 cases of thalidomide embryopathy were registered in leprosy endemic areas in South America by the Latin American Collaborative Study of Congenital Malformations. Thereafter, national pharmacovigilance centers have been established in various countries, mainly in developing countries. In the beginning, a world country-wide spontaneous system of reporting for suspected adverse drug reactions was there and was the only source of information for pharmacovigilance and drug reaction. Then, it includes pharmacoepidemiology courses in different universities and institutes at postgraduate level in the various countries. There were variations in the theme of spontaneous reporting. In mid-2000, it was realized that reporting should be intensified. So, pharmacology, it includes pharmacoepidemiology. It has two types, clinical practice and epidemiology. So, some selected drugs or adverse effects such as adverse effects on skin, liver, eyes, etc. should be targeted. Orientation and pharmacovigilance activity are regional, national and international level should be established. Quantitative and qualitative development of the reporting system through structured collaboration between pharmacists and physicians should be improved. Direct reporting system by the patient themselves should be encouraged. Importance of prescription event monitoring and record linkage. Prescription event monitoring means once they have prescribed a drug and we need to monitor any reaction or event take place after taking administration of that drug. So that is known as prescription event monitoring. And record linkage, which means the wide data of a patient, specific patient is collected. That is known as record linkage. That should be linked or analyzed with the current situation. Be considered as a major tools in pharmacovigilance. Use of case controlled surveillance in studying drug-induced characteristic disorders is important, particularly when there is no suggested time relationship. Theoretically, a follow-up study may be considered as a method of choice for evaluation of a treatment. A follow-up should be done to assess whether the treatment is effective or not. Then advantages of spontaneous reporting system are wide range coverage. It includes different adverse effects and interactions spread over the economy. Effective, rapid, continuous, relatively cheaper. These are the advantages. Then the limitations or disadvantages include casual relationship between the patient and the person collecting reports may lead to uncertain reports. Then underreporting and wrongly reporting, that is known as bias reporting, and comparison of drugs is often difficult. Maybe it is very difficult to compare the drugs. Intensive to type C adverse effects. However, there are other factors that can influence the success of spontaneous reporting system. Some of these are the number of drug users, drug registration policy, training of physicians and other healthcare providers, feedback system, and other services provided by the centers. Now coming to the point, importance of safety monitoring of medicine. Why it is important to monitor the drug usage, that we are going to discuss here. Till a medicine is not approved for sale, it remains protected under scientific environment of clinical trials. Before release for a sale, a medicine is tested using a limited population ranging from 500 to 5000. So before a drug reaches the market, it is tested in a limited range population, that is between 500 to 5000. Once the medicine comes into the market, it becomes legally available for consumption by the general population. That means there comes the role of post-marketing surveillance. The population may be children, pregnant women, patients suffering from other diseases and the elderly. It may be given separately or in combination with other medicines. Thus, the drug is taken in different therapeutic situations and physiological conditions. So, a drug used may be for different conditions or different therapeutic situations and physiological conditions. It depends upon the patients. So, it may differ. The population will not be the same. Those who are using that medicines will be differ in age and other physiological condition also. So, different phases of clinical examination. Here, preclinical animal experiments, clinical studies, and spontaneous reporting. Here, we are going to discuss about the phases of clinical trials. Animal experiments for acute toxicity, organ damage, dose dependence, metabolism, kinetics, carcinogenicity, mutagenicity, or teratogenicity. These all comes in the preclinical studies by the animal usage or animal studies. It was also known as. Then, clinical studies, phase 1. 20 to 50 healthy volunteers to collect preliminary data. Phase 2, 150 to 350 subjects with disease to determine safety and dosage recommendation. First, phase 1, healthy volunteers are involved. Phase 2, safety and dosage, subjects with disease, they are included. And phase 3, 250 to 4,000 more varied patient groups to determine short-term safety and efficacy. Here, safety and efficacy are included. And last one, phase 4. Here, spontaneous reporting is involved. Post-approval studies to determine specific safety issues. It is therefore very much necessary to observe and record the effectiveness and safety of medicine under the real life condition. In fact, diverse effects, interaction with food or with other medicines and risk factors are to be noticed only during its real use over the years. Only after it is used in a large population we can know about the other reactions such as risk factors, interactions, etc. This table includes the examples for serious adverse drug reactions. Some of the examples are in 1950, chlorophenicol drugs causes adverse drug reaction aplastic anemia. Remarks, now also it is used, still being used. And then in 1999, acetaminophen is used. It causes arrhythmias because of interaction with other drugs. And inhaled insulin, long-term safety, high cost. Remark, withdrawn in the UK due to poor sales caused by the national restriction on prescribing, doubts over long-term safety. Then sibutramine, heart-related side effects, it is banned in the country. In general, the stakeholders who need to collaboratively work are government, industry, hospitals and academia, medical and pharmaceutical associations, poisons and medicinal information centers, health professionals, patients, consumers, the media and World Health Organization. These all stakeholders should be collaboratively work together to bring forward the pharmacovigilance program and also to avoid and make awareness among the people about the pharmacovigilance. So that's all for today.